Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of Cooking with Grief, the podcast equivalent of a turkey sandwich on rye bread. Sure, it's not everyone's favourite. It can't exactly match the popularity of the BLT, but if you're in the mood for it, it really hits the spot. I'm Chris, and I should not write the introduction to these things while thinking about food. As ever, I'm joined by my favourite Cooking with Grief co-host, the chicken to my bacon, the avocado to my poached egg, the flaming hot monster munch to my recent rediscovery of the flaming hot monster munch. What a superb crisp that is. It's Chris.
Hello, and I would just like to reiterate that the flaming hot monster munch is the best flavour of monster munch.
Just what an absolute belter of a processed potato product.
Like, the number one is obviously flaming hot.
Obviously.
I'd say fairly closely followed by a pickled onion. And then in my personal opinion, there is a very steep drop-off down to the beef flavoured.
You might be surprised to learn that we are not sponsored by Monster Munch of any flavour. But if any representatives are listening, more than anything, just congratulations on an excellent product. Okay, good. That's the small talk done with. Here's how the podcast works. Each of us, Chris's, pick 2 topics every week to talk about. It could be a news article we've come across, or an interesting tidbit from ancient history, or a vaguely hypothesized opinion we've not really bothered to research or flesh out in any way. Instead, produce it here on the show, like a smug chicken harbouring a tainted egg. So, Chris, what's your first tainted egg for us?
So, would you describe yourself as lazy?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Well, I got some good news for you. You're sorry. I did have some good news to tell you, but it does seem kind of insulting first. But anyway,
good news. You're a piece of shit. Yeah, I knew. Thanks. What a great topic. Moving on.
So the good news is you're evolutionarily winning.
I do not feel that is the case.
Well, scientists have studied whether, energetic animals or less energetic animals are more likely to survive and reproduce, and hence pass on their genetic material. I mean, they've only really studied sea slugs, so the fact that you're not a sea slug may not be working in your favour.
But also, what is the difference between the laziest and the most energetic sea slug? What is the spectrum of a sea slug? Any sea slugs doing sea marathons, and other ones are going, God, I just can't be arsed with all that slugging about.
Exactly, some of them are sitting at home on the old seabed.
What does a lazy day for a sea slug look like? And is it that different to a go-getter?
The CEO sea slugs of the world. Yeah, you're right. I don't know how they...
It's that one moved.
Do you remember a few months ago, scientists apparently tampered with a snail's brain and made it forget its memories.
Yeah, how would you know?
How much memories does a snail have?
Yeah, it couldn't even remember, season 1 of Game of Thrones. Oh, we must have wiped its memory.
Yeah. Exactly. There is some science behind it, but apparently it's the more sedentary sea slugs. They use less energy, which therefore means they require less energy. Go about their, I'm sure, extremely fulfilling existence as a lazy sea slug. It wasn't just slugs, it also included scallops. How do you tell? It's it doesn't move.
What?
It's just in a shell.
What is a high-achieving scallop doing? Are there some scallops going... I wish he'd be like that scallop. He went out, he got his degree, he works nights just to pay for law school. He's become a scallop lawyer. And you just sit around licking your lips. Is that what the scallops do? Or are those clams? If it's in a context where the inactivity means you're less likely to be noticed and therefore eaten, then maybe there is an evolutionary advantage. If you're a lazy cheater, then you're going to get picked off or not bother catching other food.
It does. It is a very limited in scope piece of research. I don't think it can necessarily translate to a lazy whale or something would just drown. Just wouldn't bother to breathe.
Yeah.
Whereas you can get away with being very lazy as a crustacean.
Yeah, there's not a huge difference between them and the real, the wunderkinds of the scallop world. I can't feel like I can take much comfort knowing the fact that sea slugs aren't like, hindered by inactivity to think, oh, that's fine, I don't need to pursue a career. I don't need to, better myself in it anyway, because evolutionary, apparently, I'm winning. Of course I'm winning. I'm basing my life on the availability of Monster Munch. That's going to really be the message people take home today. It's like, what was that about science? Yeah, something about, like, slugs can't do maths or something, but they really hammered home this crisp idea. I've not even heard of them. And if I'm listening to this outside of the UK, I've got no fucking idea. What the hell is a Monster Munch? It sounds like a straight-to-DVD, borderline pornographic film.
I just googled Monster Munch to see whether or not it was available in other countries, and it's available in France, but it's like in the shape of a face. Flavours include ready salted, ham and cheese, barbecue, ketchup and cream cheese. What?
Do you not find, and I'm not about to get all Brexit about this, but Britain does diversity of flavours of crisps much better than a lot of other countries. Like, in France, like, you can get wall-to-wall, like, crisp style, but they're all, like, paprika flavoured. They're just different brands of paprika flavoured crisps.
In some parts of the world, you can get crispy squid-flavoured Pringles.
Right. I mean, they're messing with tried and tested formula, because we all know what the best flavour of Pringle is.
This could end up scuppering.
This is like the scone thing all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're saying this with a lot of conviction. So let's hear it.
Sour cream and chive.
Oh no! It's Texas barbecue. It's over. Thank you for
listening
tuning
to the last episode Yeah, we both made the shitty joke at the same time.
Shall we end this segment? Because we seem to have gone wildly on into...
It's nice to sum up what we've learned. What it started out off as is evolutionary traits, and it's ended in the shattering of all my ideas of who you are.
So, I'm going to throw it over to you, Chris, to hopefully keep us on your first topic.
Chris, you're a young man in your prime, or at least old enough to remember his prime fondly as a thing that is slipping away from him. I hope this isn't too personal for the podcast, but have you ever pulled the boner?
I think not. Would I know if I had?
It depends on the severity of the boner pulling. I would imagine you have, because to pull the boner means to make a mistake, or at least it did in the early 1900s when it was relevant slang. It comes from, we used to call people boneheads if they were stupid. So to pull a boner was to do a stupid thing. Because my first topic is about old slang that's died out, because I've been reading a book on it. So I've picked some of my favourite ones. The idea is you see if you can guess the meaning. They're sort of old slang that by modern context sound a bit rude. Okay, so what do you think the phrase "not up to dick" means?
Not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not far off. It means not healthy. If something's not up to dick. So how are you feeling? Oh, I'm not up to dick.
Does that mean, like, I'm not in the mood to... Like, how are you? Well, I'm in no mood to dick. I was like, oh, damn, you must be ill.
What do you think to give someone the wind means? I'll give you a clue. It's not to fart on them.
Oh, damn it. Because I was going to say, that would be my first guess, would be to stand in front of somebody and, like, do a drive-by. I have no idea.
It was to jilt someone, to stand them up at a wedding or something, oh, what happened? I thought you were getting married. Oh no, he gave me the wind.
Well, maybe he just wasn't up to dick.
To pangwandle.
I reckon that's to flip-flop on a decision.
I can see where you're coming from. That makes sense. It means to go through life with a cheery disposition despite inconveniences and misfortune. So, you mean those people are just happy-go-lucky, shit happens and they get on with it. He's a real pangwandler. What is happy cabbage?
Cabbage that's having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you are going fairly literal with these. It's not really how slang works, but I appreciate your literal attempt at them. Happy cabbage was like spare money you had that you spend on yourself for like...
Cabbages.
I guess back in the day, then that was the thing that you bought. It's like, that's like their equivalent of like retail therapy. It's been a hard day picking cabbages.
Okay.
And I guess it's more practical than buying a top that you're never going to wear. Well, it depends what you do with a cabbage, I guess. If you wear it as a top, then you're probably only going to get a couple of uses out of it. What does it mean if you're full of moist? Don't go route one with this one.
Damn it. You're full of moist. I reckon you're feeling sad.
You might be, it means overheated, or you're just too hot. Like,
sweaty, I suppose.
I think the word moist is universally considered pretty awful.
It's not even nice to say.
No, it's nothing. No, it's all right. Well, don't keep saying it if it's not nice to say. You're almost enemy there.
You're just trying it out.
I know, but you knew from the.
It's not nice to say, nice to listen to.
Yeah, are you done torturing both yourself and the listeners?
Moist.
You know, like before the watershed, there's like you've got like a limit on rude words. You've reached your moist quota. What in slang terms is the phoenix nest?
Oh, Christ! You did not want to think where my brain just went with that question.
You're probably right. Going route one with this.
Bodily hair related.
It's our old friend the vagina.
Oh, see, I was thinking more just slightly north of that region.
I mean, why the phoenix nest? I don't know. I couldn't find the sort of the root etymology of this. Whether it's because it's something that revitalizes you,
mythological, full of fire.
I don't know. On personal experience, maybe help your partner to a doctor if it's literally full of fire. What does soapy-eyed mean?
Eyes that are moist with tears or something. But that, given the pattern so far, I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's drunk as I guess.
Blurred vision and everything. Yeah, I can see that.
What does to hump the swag mean?
I'd say it's to steal loot.
Just means to carry your own bag. So it's like your swag would be like your possessions. So it's like if you had a backpack full of stuff, then hump obviously hunch bag. Yeah. Now this one is the weirdest one I found, but it's from Shakespeare, so I feel like it balances out the weird with the cerebral. What does it mean to grope for trout in a peculiar river?
It obviously means to go fishing in a waterway that you're not familiar with.
Do you know how idioms work? They used to describe something else other than the thing literally. It wouldn't be much of a segment. And I go, what does this phrase mean? And you just find synonyms for those words. Yes.
I reckon then it's to go somewhere you've never been before and search for answers. Or it means to have sex.
Yeah, combine the two. So it's to cheat on someone. I don't know when we stop referring to sex with someone else as groping for trout, which is a worse band name than scouting for girls. They picked the right name if it was between those two. But yeah, so to grope for trout in a peculiar river is to cheat on someone. If you're wading around in unfamiliar waters looking for a fish.
Looking for some sexy, sexy fish.
So, and finally, what does it mean to suck the devil's thumb?
To eat a Scotch bonnet chili.
I mean, I like it was less literal than to go fishing in an unfamiliar body of water. To suck the devil's thumb is to sleep in, to have a lie-in instead of going to church.
So really, going along with that, because, that sort of ties into, like, the devils and the idle hands and all that. You're having a sleep-in, you're sucking the devil's thumb. So those sea slugs from before were basically all working very closely with the Prince of Darkness.
Yes, but I mean, they are the most... satanic of all the enchiliderms. What's the genus, the bracket of a sea slug? Your superior biology has trumped my...
By superior biology, you mean that I literally just read it in the article, in the previous segment.
Look, it doesn't matter where your knowledge comes from. If you get it right, you get to, gloat a bit. So that's the end of my first topic. Chris, would you please talk about something a little more highbrow?
All right. Well, I'm going to take your offer, and I'm just going to punt it straight into the long grass.
What? Sorry, just what sport is that an analogy for? What sport do you punt it straight into the grass
it's
for?
It's a bizarre mixture of American football and bad golfer. I'd just like to bring you to report that there has been a shortage of ninjas in a Japanese city. I know what you're thinking, this is terrible. But this actually caused rumours that they were hiring ninjas, and it's the city of Aiga. Yeah, apparently they were inundated with people sending their ninja CVs because they thought the city was hiring ninjas. And the city was not hiring ninjas. And had to politely decline for any additional ninjas.
Exactly what you'd expect a covert ninja operation to do, whereas secretly
Well,
they
yeah.
hide them all and started training their new ninja army.
There is a reasoning behind this. It's not just sheer racism and people being like, haha, Japanese ninjas. They definitely need my ninja skills. It's apparently the city does market itself as the birthplace of ninjas and ninjutsu and whatnot. It has a ninja museum. There was a report in America incorrectly stated about labour shortages in the city. Accidentally sort of misconstrued that as saying they needed more ninja performers.
I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know if you've ever applied to a job and sort of maybe overstated your qualifications, and then you get to the interview process and you realise you're way out your depth. If you've applied to be, like a really learned tour guide about the history of ninjutsu and then, the history of the sort of cultural phenomenon of the ninja, and you turn up in a, your black dressing gown with plastic nunchucks going, I love ninjas, and they're going, no, this is a very serious academic post. We're looking for at least a PhD. That is it is a long walk back to the airport. I don't know why you'd walk to the airport, get a taxi. But
Sure, ninja. Ninjas don't get in taxis.
have you seen the ninja restaurants they have?
Well, no, presumably they just sneak up on you before you know it, you've got some food.
Well, it's not too dissimilar. So you go in, and then in order to get to the restaurant, you have to navigate a series of traps where it's a narrow corridor, and then tiles fall away, and you have to leap from the safe tiles to the safe tiles. Then you get in and you get your food, and then you pay, and then you're walking out, and then you get halfway down the street, and then you're you're confronted by a ninja who sneaks up on you and presents you with a scroll or a certificate for completing the ninja restaurant course.
Oh, this just sounds so long-winded.
I know, it's a lot of effort, and it's I guess it's the equivalent of leaving the pub and then getting glassed on the way out because you left a soggy beer mat or whatever.
Does seem a bit excessive. Do you know apparently ninjas didn't wear ninja costumes?
Well, yeah, they dressed up like local townspeople.
It's basically like the Hitman games. Just dress up as a guard or apparently usually just peasants because nobody gives a shit about peasants. Whatever they got, shoguns or whatever, walking past peasants who didn't really notice that they were individual human beings. So, the perfect person to disguise yourself as.
Whereas a guy crouched on top of the building, in all black with a katana on his back, sort of tends to stand out.
Because apparently it all started, that thing was from, in plays, they'd have stagehands dressed all in black, moving about the props and all that in the background. And, the audience just sort of, after a while, they, you stop paying attention to them. And then sometimes they'd use one of those, would be the killer, and, a stagehand who was previously, the audience were just ignoring, would, stab one of the characters, and that would be the sort of shocking assassination. And they were dressed all in black, and so people like ninjas wear black.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cooler look than just dressing as a peasant and just, hanging about, merely blending in.
Yeah. Unless you have a barcode on the back of your neck, in which case it looks really cool.
I mean, I always thought that would be a bit of a giveaway.
What, the barcode? Yeah, you'd think so.
Because he's completely bald, isn't he, Hitman? So it's not like he's got long hair obscuring his neck, and most of his outfits don't cover the back of the neck. So it's like wherever he goes, he's just randomly, a sushi chef, and they go, hi, Hitman. Obviously, he's I mean, that's how bad of an assassin I'd be. What's your name? Hitman?
Damn it!
John Hitman. I know we've never worked together, but I work at this restaurant now.
No, I'm definitely not a contract killer. Why would you even think that? There's also a great story about there was a thief in somewhere in Japan who dressed as a ninja in the ninja costume, not as a peasant, and apparently he used to he'd break into stuff and steal things, and then he'd run away, do all the sort of parkour over the stuff, but very ninja-like. And then they eventually caught him, and turns out he was 74 years old.
Good for him. It's nice to have it's nice to see pensioners have a hobby.
And what the best thing is apparently, as we've been arrested, he said, if I was younger, I wouldn't have been caught. I'll quit as I'm 74 now and I'm old enough. It's just that, bravado.
Yeah, go down swinging, but it's nice to know your limitations, Been caught, fair play to you, have a Werther's original. or the Japanese equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started that sentence
Wasabi original.
Yeah, much better than the complete lack of end of the sentence I had in mind when I started.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a slightly racist impression of a Japanese advert. So I'm glad you didn't go there.
No, I make it a personal point of just ethics to not impersonate Japanese adverts. I mean, particularly in a context where it makes sense. I don't say, well, Chris, we've looked at your bank application, and then I just launch into a horrendously racist Japanese advert. Then you go, and this is why we are declining your loan.
Okay, so that's me finished. I was going to think of some sort of ninja-related segue then to try and say, you could bring it back on and lead us out like a ninja, and then it all fell apart very fast.
No, mate, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it.
Thank you. So please give me your final topic.
Chris, have you ever had any problems with ordering stuff online?
Only in that Yodel are, and I hope this doesn't count as slander, if I say allegedly terrible. They allegedly very seem to struggle to deliver to my flat, and I end up always having to go and collect it from their warehouse 8 miles away instead, several days after it was supposed to have been delivered, allegedly.
There are definitely more like salacious things you could accuse them of. If you'd said I don't know if this is slander, but they only employ paedophiles. It's like, whoa, you can't say that. But if you've had genuine personal experience with bad customer service, you don't need to say allegedly.
I never know the legalities, so I just want to cover my back.
Good. I mean, I think we're bulletproof now. Because, I think ordering stuff, obviously it's supposed to make our lives easier, but I find the anxiety of being given a 12-hour window in which to wait for a parcel is not worth the convenience of getting the stuff sent straight to my door. Unless it's something too big to carry home, I will try and buy it physically because I get to pay for it and then have the thing.
We have Amazon Locker at work and it's amazing.
That is
it's
handy.
So convenient. Like somebody comes and then you get a little email saying, your parcel's been delivered, and then walk just to the other end of the office and boom, got it. It's amazing. But I know what you mean. That's like the whole thing with, please wait in and you take your day off work. We may deliver it during work hours, or we may end up delivering it at 9 p.m. anyway, in which case you've just taken a day off work for no reason.
You didn't specify a safe location, but we've chucked it over your back wall, but what you ordered was a light bulb, and it's shattered all over your flower bed or whatever.
I did have one really good customer service ordering. So it was actually it was getting in my passport renewed, actually. It's that sod's law thing where I'd taken the day off work and I had two things I needed to do. I needed to wait in for this delivery because it was a signed delivery, and I had to go to the bank. It was opening an account, so I needed to have an appointment. And obviously, sod's law.
And you probably needed some ID as well, like a passport.
But no, sod's law meant that, the delivery was an all-day slot, and obviously it came at luckily just after my bank appointment had finished, but whilst I was out in town. But luckily the guy rang me to say, I'm here with your passport, can you come sign for it? Or, I rang the bell and it's not answered. And I was like, right, I'm really sorry, luckily I live, walking distance from the bank, but, fair 15-minute walk, whatever. But, he did actually sit there and, he did stay and just wait for me to come and sign for it, which is brilliant, because I was like, I'm really sorry, I'm just on my way back, but I'm 10 minutes away. I think he had some other deliveries in the area.
I thought you were going to say that he phoned you and he said, well, actually I need to go to the bank, I'll just meet you there.
No, that would have been fortuitous.
Because some of them do. It is like you're in the house and I don't know how long they think it takes to answer the door, but they will just gently graze the door with their knuckles, and if it doesn't open immediately, then they just go, right, okay, well, no one clearly lives here. One of the few benefits of living in the middle of nowhere is because everyone knows that everyone is that you've got elderly neighbours who are more than happy to just stare out the window all day. So if they see a parcel not being delivered, they'll just go, oh yeah, I know I live 17 doors down, but I'll gladly take their package and then leave them a handwritten note saying, we have your protein powder or whatever I've ordered.
Well, you hope it's protein powder and not, like the Fuckmaster 5000 or something.
God, the batteries that thing goes through is insane. It will bludgeon an anus.
That was graphic.
Sorry. Carry on. Yeah, but it's the word moist I have a problem with. Yeah, so that was a 10-minute answer to the introductory question of have you ever had any problems with ordering stuff online?
I assume that was your entire topic. Sorry.
I just fancied a chat, mate. It's been a while. It's been at least a week. Well, my topic, 10 minutes in. We sat down to record and I thought, oh fuck, I've only got one topic. Have you ever bought stuff online? Yeah, I have actually. Here's 10 minutes of anecdotes. Great. Thanks. See you next week. Right. So, someone who had a less than perfect experience with ordering stuff online was a woman in the Zhejiang province of China recently who ordered a bunch of medical supplies online, like dietary supplements and stuff like that. They arrived in several different packages. They tend to split them up. The first three contained exactly what she'd ordered, like aspirin and paracetamol and stuff. But the fourth contained something that she had not even slightly ordered.
Was it a snake?
You're not far off. It was a meter-long dead crocodile.
Oh, well, at least it was dead.
Yeah, it had started its transit alive, though.
Ooh.
They called the police and they managed to get to the bottom of it. And the apparently it just been a simple... just your classic putting the wrong shipping label on the wrong boxes. So
does that mean somebody somewhere had ordered a crocodile?
Yep, apparently that is legal in China.
Fair enough.
And they had in good faith ordered an crucially alive, 3 foot long crocodile, but unfortunately just got a load of, aspirin or whatever. I guess my question would be, what kind of company sells both medical supplies and alive crocodiles?
You don't get that in Argos.
There is some silver lining that in Chinese medicine, crocodile meat is used to cure respiratory illnesses like asthma. So maybe she was able to boil it down and turn the scales into crisps. Is that how they make Monster Munch?
I was going to say, obviously the claws, so what makes the Monster Munch. And we're back!
We've sort of wrapped it up neatly, ?
Wrapped it up like a packet of crisps. It's tortured. Ninjas. Moist ninjas. Actually, that's the point. Maybe, you know how they could have kept the crocodile alive for its transit? Kept it
ninja.
moist.
Oh. I thought like a ninja could transport it, they'd probably get there quicker. But yeah, keep it moist. I think we'll finally found our tagline. You've been listening to Cooking with Grief. Good night, and keep it moist.
Keep it moist.
So that's the end of my second topic, and that brings us to the end of this episode with Cooking with Grief. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's been pretty crisp heavy, to be honest, so if you're not a fan of crisps, then I don't know how much you're getting out of this, but even if you're not, hopefully you did. And also, fans of the supposedly semi-regular, but in actual fact not at all regular feature, Kurt Russell Facts with Chris, will be disappointed to discover that we forgot once again to do our fan favourite regular feature once.
Luckily, I didn't have any facts for you to ask me, so there's been a few impromptu Kurt Russell. Well, I'd say facts, but they're more just
declarations of love,
fawning over him. Yeah.
But nevertheless, only semi-regular feature. Just emphasis on the semi. I don't know how to feel about that sentence. Okay, let me just rephrase that slightly. Just emphasis. No. I've been Chris. He's also been Chris, I assume.
And I have a throbbing erection. Wait, what?
This has fallen apart and it was already broken to begin with, so we're going to leave you now and maybe not come back because it's clearly not good for either of our psyches. This is Cooking with Grief. You hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, keep it moist. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cooking with Grief. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to recommend it to a friend. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email cookingwithgrief@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter
That's at Cooking with Grief. If you'd like to hear more episodes, then please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you've got the time, then it'd be great if you could leave us a review on iTunes. Thank you.